Welcome to Core Physio and Pilates video series. I'm Fiona and this is Lee. With the weather now warmer, you might have taken up running as your form of exercise, or you might just be a runner that's looking to improve your technique, or maybe it's just that you want to prevent future injuries from your running. So this video series is going to be dedicated to you guys. Let's get into it. The first exercise we'll be going through is called Clams. We've gone over this in a previous video, but we'll recap the exercise today. So Lee's going to be lying here on her side, so try and line your spine up so your head, shoulder and hip are all in one straight line. I'll just get you to lengthen the back of your neck a little bit, Lee, thank you. From here, she's going to just gently lift up through her lower waist. So ensure that you always do this when you're lying on your side to ensure that your spine is in a nice neutral position. From here, she's going to have her knees slightly in front of her hips and her heels in line with her tailbone. And from here, she'll gently squeeze the heels together and then start to lift the top knee away from the bottom knee, trying to initiate this movement from the top of the hip and then lower down. Good, and then just continue. And she's ensuring that her pelvis doesn't roll back during the exercise to ensure that it's an isolated hip exercise. You can rep through about 20 of these until you feel that nice strong burn through the back of the hip. You'll then be able to progress to Clams 2. So this is simply lifting the heels, trying to still maintain that slight lift through her lower waist. So I can slide my hand under here and she'll repeat that same movement. Gently squeeze the heels, spiral from the top of the hip joint, engage the back of the glute and then lower down. And again, repeating about 20 of these. You can increase the repetitions as you improve your endurance through the exercise. Good, well done, she's doing a great job. From here, we'll then move on to the bridges. So Lee's going to turn it over onto her back. Good. And then from here, she'll just have her feet in line with her hips. Good. Spine in a nice straight line. So just ensure that you're widening the collarbones, lengthening the back of the neck, and just relaxing the arms by the side. From here, Lee is going to just create a slight imprint through her lower back. Good. And then she's going to lift her hips up nice and high so her shoulder, hip and knee form a nice straight line. In this position here, you should feel that squeeze between the glute and the hamstring. So we're trying to use these muscles, not the lower back. She'll then lower down, good, and then come up and just repeat that same up-down movement. Yep, really focusing on the back of the hips. So again, you can probably rep through about 20 repetitions of these until you feel that nice strong connection through the back of both hips. The progression from this exercise is to move to a single leg bridge. This is going to work a little bit more on your pelvic control. It's a lot harder as well. So from here, Lee's going to extend her leg out. Good. She'll do that same imprint through her lower back, flattening into the floor. And then she'll lift her hips up. Try and keep your knees and your thighs nice and level as you do this. Pelvis should be level, and she's focusing on that same glute squeeze between that glute and hamstring. She'll then lower her hips down and then repeat. So with these, I probably recommend you start with about 10. They are a lot harder. Ensure that your technique is perfect, so you're getting both that stability in the pelvis and that activation through that glute and hamstring. Good, and you can progress those repetitions as you get stronger. This is the Arabesque in standing, great for pelvic stability and control. So from here, set yourself up with a chair just in front of you. Place your hands lightly on the chair, extend one leg back behind you and just have that foot just lightly resting on the floor. Make sure the pelvis is nice and square at this point. Soften your left knee or the leg that you're standing on. Good. And then from here, Lee's going to just slightly lift up the back leg, hinge her body forward and feel the weight sinking in through the back of the hip. Just check that your pelvis is still square at this point and you can feel that weight sinking back. You're just going to hold this position until you can feel that load in through the back of the hip. Try and be really light with the hands so that you can feel that work in through the glute. Good. And Lee should be feeling that probably about now. Good. And then she can stand back up. Good. So just stand until you can feel the glute activate. Try and modify your position slightly. Check the pelvis, check the hips, sink back if you're not feeling it in the right area. You can increase that hold time, so maybe starting with maybe 15, 20 seconds, and you can increase that up almost up to a 60-second hold.